Alright guys, glad you could join me. So tonight, this is what I'm working on. These are they're adapters for the 3M half-face respirators. A little voiceover here. Dr. Glenn got a hold of me on Facebook. He had just put this out there and I responded. Told him I could print him these parts. He was pretty appreciative, so I'm getting her done. This is what it's going to ultimately look like. There it goes on the respirator. That's the file. And here it is after I put it in my slicer. Everybody's seen those. They kind of look similar to this one I 3D printed, but they're made of a flexible material. They're made by 3M. They're pretty ubiquitous in like the construction industry, as well as even hospitals and for certain high-risk applications. So what these do is they basically allow the doctor to take these they're real prevalent, I guess, in hospitals. They're a filter meant for like bacteria and viruses, but it's for a totally different purpose. This adapter will allow you to plug that right into the 3M half-face respirator. Or the full face. I even have some full face glass shields from when I did, glass face covered full face respirators that had this same adapter on them. So that there are a lot of applications for these, but allows them, rather than using the standard like puck style or even canister filters, those are in short demand or in high demand, short supply now. So these filters, I guess they have a lot of them around the hospital, so you'll be able to plug them directly into this. And then obviously filter the air and be safe in their environment. It's kind of a good idea that this doctor had, so I'm going to print him. I got some other people involved, so we'll see what his demand is for these. I'll try to help him out. These are just, he wanted to try the 3 different sizes and models, so there they are. Get back to this. So I printed this last. It's a obviously a half-face respirator, but it's reusable, and printed a bunch of them for my family. But what they do is this inside piece here, you can plug it into here and just snaps in, and you put your real high filtration media in there. Something like a cut-up 3M mask that you can't use any longer, or a brand new one, wouldn't matter. You could extend them out, or even you could also use things like the 3M Filtrate air filters for your furnace, the furnace filters. You can cut those up, I've heard, and other things like, for example, you could also use those blue shop towels, but I would probably use a HEPA vacuum bag, the 3M air filter for your inner filter, because you flip it over and come out here, it's got this face cover, and it basically just snaps on there like so. And what that allows you to do is put a pre-filter material. You can cut it to fit, and this will hold it in there. Something like the blue shop towels, I've heard, are really good for that. You could even use, like cotton, or, you got to experiment around. But what's nice about this is that it's infinitely replaceable. The things that I've come up with for like comfort is the guy that made the original video I got this file from, he hot glued like a foam rubber around here, so that's a possibility. Hot glue will stick to this, but you can also peel it off later. It'll stick with a pretty good bond, but you can peel it off later and then put a different material in there, so you're not stuck once you put it in there. And what you can use is like, what I was thinking is those little makeup remover cotton pads. I was thinking you could take those and you could clean your face, that you would normally clean your face, excuse me. You could take those, cut them into strips, and then hot glue it around, and it act as a soft material against your face for long-term use or comfort. I mean, this is real smooth. Well, I don't think long-term it would be comfortable, especially if you had like an elastic holding this to your head. See, there's the mounts there. You can use, like, I have these clips here that I 3D print. Those can be used in place of elastic to create an adjustable, just using an adjustable fit, just using a ribbon or like a shoelace type material to cotton string, even. This allows you to tighten it if you don't have access to elastic or you don't want to use elastic. That's another option. It's a little less convenient though, obviously. So elastic would be the way to go. That's the way I'm making them. But yeah, that's the last thing I printed. This is I think it took about 14 hours to print this. So and that's only at 20% infill, as these are. I printed these solid in the past, and it took like 16 hours, so extra 2 hours. But anyway, I appreciate you joining me. That's what I'm up to tonight. Have a good one. Alright guys, just finishing up here. It's been a long print. Always love to see it at 99%. She's just finishing up, and see the detail pretty good on these. The 6200 on there. There's a 6800. Can't quite see it, but printed the letters. But yeah, it'll be finished here in just a minute. Getting back to what I was talking about earlier, we got these filter masks. I'm going to do some testing on them tomorrow. This one just has elastic. It's the one-piece Montana type mask. That's a modified one. Here's the other mask that I was showing earlier. A couple of them. We got two-piece with the snap-in. And then here's a one-piece Montana mask. This one needs some sanding because I printed it upside down. This was the first one I ever did, but it's printed solid too. Solid plastic. Drop the middle out. So one thing I didn't like about these is that you can push the thing all the way through, in or out, but it does lock a thicker material in pretty well, so it's not so bad. But yeah, getting over here to the filaments that I got. I was going to show you, that's a metal filament right there. It's brass. It's like brass epoxy. I guess it's majority brass, but I've never printed with it. That's a brand new roll. I'm going to have to try printing in metal at some point. I think that would be pretty cool. And then finally, one thing I can do is this, one of my other hobbies is casting metal. So I can take any of these things that I 3D print, and through what's called the lost casting method, I can actually print something out, and anything that I print out I can turn into metal by pouring it in my backyard foundry. So stay tuned to that. Stay tuned to the testing video. That's going to be tomorrow, where I'm going to test various materials. And then this thing that popped up here, I'm going to print this next. This is just a variety of adapters and clips for my testing tomorrow. Anyway, I appreciate that. If you watch this whole video, I know it's pretty long-winded. That's me, but I appreciate you watching. Have a good night.